and welcome to my garden. This is 14th of May 2019. We are in Edmonton, Alberta in Canada, and this is my garden. Garden's doing really well. Is in full spring mode, and I'm really happy with it. This is the first flowering tree, actually the first flower at all in this garden is this one, the flower in this tree, which I suspect this mysterious tree is a native here in Edmonton. It keeps sprouting in our flower bed. I have seen this tree in the park nearby, and the birds love it. So I need to know what the mysterious tree is, and I'll get back to you with the name of it. It has these green flowers, so lovely. I'm a green person, and this is a tree that has green flowers. How into that is. Love it. So yeah, beautiful. I have some evergreens because the winter here is long and you want to have a little bit of green all year long. So the evergreen is so important. I have 3 of them. And here we go. A small tour of the garden. This is a choke cherry tree. It's doing so well. It has gone through a little bit of scares over the years. It's about 3 years old, and it has been beaten by voles, and the winds almost broke it, but survived everything, and it's doing really well. Here it's gonna be flowering soon, and really thriving. Those are some other trees that I have brought these trees, these twins here, these twin trees here. They're very sturdy, absolutely adapted to our climate, and I had them in our former house in the West End, and I brought the seedlings, and they grew fast and sturdy and wonderful. I have my feeders on them. They're really doing super well. I have pruned them already, and they really thrive in here. Rose bushes are slow in coming, like every year, but they're gonna be really worth the wait. They're red roses, very fragrant and wonderful. Here's clematis that I have to keep seeding. The voles, look at what they did. They bite every single stem of this clematis last year, and last year was such an attack of the voles in this garden that I have put this fencing to protect. Just as an example, this is, I guess, is the most voracious attack, like the big bite that the voles took off this. And it's unbelievable. I see now in the park nearby that the city has put also this sort of mesh fencing around the trees. So if they had done it last year with this tree, could have done really well without the bites. So here we have a pear tree. It's doing really well, and we have these first flowers here coming up. Look at that. I'm optimistic for some pears in the first season of this tree. Look at the flowers over there. Doing so well. I'm really happy with them. What I'm a bit concerned is with this plum tree. This plum tree seems to be coming back from the shock from the early warm temperatures in the end of winter, when the trees put out their sprouts. They're somewhat tricked by the weather. The sprout starts to sprout and then start to bud, right? Have these buds, and buds are really thinking it's the springtime. And then the frost, and then the snow falls, and then the sub-zero temperatures. And I have some trees that didn't survive that, but I think this one will, because I see the green soft endings to these buds, which indicates that it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It took a shock, yes, but it's gonna come back. This is the cherry. Cherry is quite sturdy. Is the Evans. Cherry is a cherry that is native here in Edmonton, so it takes everything in stride. So it comes back nicely. The flowers are already clusters of flowers, beautiful cherry flowers, almost ready to come out. And this cherry produces so much. I still have cherries from last year. We have cherry year-round from this tree. So this is the mountain ash. This mountain ash had some hard times here. The voles took a good meal of it last year. Look at the voracity they got at this mountain ash. And then by coincidence, I had just in the same winter pruned it right here. I pruned it at half because it was so frail and so thin. I thought, let's prune it with gusto and have this tree come back really strong. And then the voles took the bite, and I thought, yeah, that's it. This tree, I don't know. But just look at that. Here are the clusters of flowers, and it's doing absolutely gorgeous, absolutely strong, and really well. Here's the maple. Of course, the maple leaf being the symbol and the emblem of Canada, emblematic, and it's so well adapted. It takes the frost, it takes the sub-zero, it puts forward the buds, and they take everything in stride, and nothing will keep the maple tree very sad for very long. Enthusiastic tree, we need to prune it back to avoid it growing too fast. With enthusiasm, and thing is, they will break if they don't have the thickness in the trunk to support, they're not very aerodynamic, so you have to prune them back, and they keep going high with the branches. If you don't prune them back, they break in half. I'm not kidding. It's heartbreaking when that happens, so pruning is highly recommended. So clematis coming back, beautiful. I take seeds from it. I think I have used up all my seeds, and here's some. I just take and I keep reseeding it. I seed it like so, very simply. Just put the seeds into the ground, and I don't add any water, any topsoil, anything. It will just keep, it's really well adapted here, and will just grow. By seeding it, I avoid it going to the flower bed, and just keep them around the climbing post for them. And you don't need to do anything. You see there's some bulbs here I planted, and the first dandelions are coming up, which is great, because when the dandelion flowers open, then we get the bees. Yeah, then we get the bees buzzing all around here. I have a bee fountain drinking bath for them, prepared for them when they are coming. So I'm going to put a stone in here, some stones in there, so that if you don't, they might drown. So in time for them to come, for the first flowers of the dandelions, I'll have it filled with pebbles, and they will be really happy. Okay, so we come to the flower bed area. I have 3 apple trees, and this one gives me so much apple. It's a wonderful apple tree, very productive. And this is the second one. It's coming up. It's relatively new because this spot, I think, has too many voles in it, because the sort of low to the ground flowers that I was favoring was not the best choice, I think. I'm changing this to be a mid-height shrub area. It's lower maintenance and less dirty, less water consumption and less labor intensive. Lilacs, this lilac is almost, you can see the flowers here. It's fragrant, it's beautiful, it's doing really well. They're coming up. And I have a row of berries here, a variety of berries. Raspberries, blueberries, and here's the mysterious tree. sprouts in the flower bag. And so I will keep some in here. There's what bird we have there. What is a robin? Ah, so cute. Okay, let's see if you can see the robin, the fence. Okay, here's chickadees. They love the fountain. And this tree, my goodness, this tree, they love it. So I think I'm keeping these seedlings here, and I'm gonna prune them to stay as shrubs, because this is so labor intense to weed all the grass from the flower bed, as opposed to, look at that, when you have these trees that when I prune them down, they become low maintenance shrubs. They still attract the birds, the bees, everything, and they really take care of themselves. They have some flowers coming that I'm gonna keep, of course. So let's see what thrives and what not. Stay tuned. Some changes are coming. So here is the apple tree that was in place of this other apple tree. What happened was it didn't make the winter time. So winter, the early warming, budding, frost, snow, and it died. And then I brought it here close to the fence. In this area I have some sort of nursery. Wherever I put it here will recover, and this apple tree came from underneath a new apple tree. And I keep the old branches because the birds really like to perch in it. They like to go and perch in all different sorts of birds. So this is a cherry tree that went the same way of that apple tree here. And it died, and then it's coming back from under. So it's amazing, there's a spot in the garden. And so that brings us to the peach tree that I lost last year in the same way. Oh, the birds came, and the frost, and the snow, and everything died. But I'm hopeful. I just put it here, and I'm hopeful that I'll have it recover. A new peach tree should be coming from the bottom over there. That's what I hope. It did happen for this cherry. See? It's coming back. It's pretty miserable, but there we have it. This is a poplar tree. I pruned it so that instead of being super high and thin, I like the aesthetics of broader leafy trees. It's doing really well. This is our ground cover. Ground cover here is basically clovers, which I seed. I seed a grass mix of wildflowers and wild grasses, and this becomes a meadowland in no time, with the occasional dandelions, which I manage with a light hand, and I'm not letting them take the clover stands its ground too, you know? And dandelions, the bees love them, so they're great. I love them. I keep the dandelions. I just take the flowers, most of the flowers off. They are always flowering, and I take the old ones that are gonna turn into those super fine seeds. And here's the chickadee. Cutie. Hi. So, dandelions are great. They're great. But they are not the first flowers that the wild tree over there beat them. So I have some, this rose is a pink flower bush. It's very, very sturdy and very nice, strong. Here's another lilac. And hydrangea, they flower late. And it's so beautiful. And the mysterious tree that keeps sprouting. And I will manage them because I have in the front yard a place where nothing will thrive, and I'm gonna transplant some of these native shrubs into that fence area. This is a clematis that died off. I guess the voles bited it off right there, and then I'm seedling. I'm just put lots of seeds from the other clematis into the ground here, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back and be quite great. Then I have this small clematis that the birds really, really love, and the birds nested in this clematis last year. Here's the nest. Yeah. I think were the chickadees. The nest is still there. Maybe the visitors were here to watch the property. So I hope they take it. And from everything, there's a huge clematis here. No birds are nesting in them. When we heard the birds nesting in our clematis, we thought, okay, it's this big one, and we just didn't come close to it, didn't talk very close to it. Here's some clematis seedlings that are coming into my climbing mesh that I put. This didn't do so well, but this is doing well, so yay. So no, they were not nesting here, they were nesting over there in the small one. This is our barbecue from the time we used to eat barbecue. Now we don't anymore. But there are several recipes for roasted vegetables. We need a new cover for this, absolutely. And I think we're keeping this and throwing some veggie cubes with our friends here. Beautiful. Yeah, so this is it for the garden. So far, we have a lot to come, and it's so nice to see wintertime go away and springtime finally arrive, and everything is thriving quickly really quickly. We have long winters and short summers, but nature responds fast. I will do another video next week, and you will be able to see the difference, how fast everything goes into full bloom, flowers, everything. And I love gardens and parks and trees and natures. That's why I spend a lot of time in my garden, and also looking for parks and bird watching and all of that I started. I just felt like, let's document this, because it's miraculous to see, especially the transformation and how nature thrives in such an interesting climate that we have, and how it manages to come back so strong. It's so interesting to see. So if you like this kind of videos, if you like this video, please give me your like. Your like is beautiful, thank you. And also subscribe for more, because I will be making a video every week, and to see what happens to the plum tree. Let's see what happens to the plum tree. I'm really optimistic. Let's see if I have reason to be optimistic. I think I have. So check it out. Subscribe for more, and to see the plum tree come to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll chat with you again in the next video. Ciao!